Our next lecture will be
Thank you, Prof.
on electronic thesis submission, and then we are going to talk about Turnitin check and how you are going to go about your redaction. We're going to talk about the preparation of the electronic thesis, the formatting and review, the online submission system, the metadata information, document upload, plagiarism check with Turnitin, then the review and approval, archiving and access, publication and accessibility, the graduation and degree conferral, and then the Turnitin colors interpretation. This is what we're going to look at. With the electronic thesis submission, the electronic thesis submission is a process of academic thesis or dissertation being submitted in an electronic format. This practice has gained a lot of popularity in recent years due to its accessibility and convenience and efficiency. It's going to offer students and academic staffs both leverage in the way things are to be done. One of the electronic thesis submission process includes preparation of electronic thesis. In preparing your electronic thesis, students and staffs or lecturers, researchers are to prepare their thesis or dissertation in the digital format using Microsoft Word or Lattice software. So the document should follow the outline, and the outline is going to be available on the School of Graduate Studies community portal. There is a new website that you can download this formatting guidelines from. The formatting guidelines is very detailed and is going to show you how you are going to write your thesis step by step for your electronic submission. The second step is the formatting and review of your thesis. In the formatting of your thesis, before you submit your thesis to the electronic repository, which is under development, the student should ensure that the document adheres to the formatting requirements set by the School of Graduate Studies. The formatting guidelines, which include the font style, margin, the spacing, the citation style, most importantly, and many more, should be adhered. So the formatting guideline is like a template that is going to guide you throughout the process. Supervisors, which is the lecturers who are supervising some of the students, should also ensure that the work adheres to the university guidelines before giving their signature or approval for submission. The online submission system. This is where you now proceed with your submission through the repository. The repository is going to contain a lot of features, and these features, you're going to follow a step in submitting your thesis. In the online submission system, we are going to integrate Turnitin, a plugin, Turnitin plugins, to make sure that after checking your work, you should make sure that your work adheres to the guidelines, the policy, 20% below before you submit. Because once you submit, the instructor or your work will be sent to an external assessor through the system. And before your work is sent to an external assessor through the system will automatically detect plagiarism. Mind you, Turnitin has also integrated a tool on their system for AI detection. So if you generate part of your work through AI, the system is going to detect it, and the instructor will revoke your work either through revision or will automatically decline your work or send it to the panel for if your plagiarism percent is above average and it cannot be explained, it's going to be sent to the panel. The metadata and information. The system will require some few information from you during the process. The metadata will consist of your bio data, some information during the submission. So during this process, you as a student will often require to provide information that includes your title, your abstract, the keywords, and then author information, supervisor information, and other relevant details before you proceed to the next step. In the document upload, you as a student, before you upload your thesis document, like I said before, it should be in a format, a Microsoft Word. It should be written in Microsoft Word, and you can change it to PDF during the submission to the platform. So the platform will allow you also to submit supplementary materials, such as additional materials like data sets, multimedia component like videos, and other components that like codes, like programming code. And the reason for this is for the computer science students or the data science student who want to publish or who want to attach their code, their programming code. You'll be able to upload all these document or supplementary materials for assessment. One of the important one here is plagiarism check with Turnitin. Like Prof have said, I've talked about plagiarism, preventing plagiarism, and with the plagiarism check, there is an online submission currently being integrated with the Scholar Indexing. The link is available, and there is a procedure for you to follow. The university, currently you are to pay 150 Ghana cedis for submission. That is a submission check for the plagiarism check. When you pay that at the cash office, or through the memo lines given to you, you'll be given a PIN. So once you upload your documents, you put the PIN will recognize you as a student, and you will be able to check your work. Your work will be submitted for plagiarism check, and you will get your report or your feedback on the email you provided. We also have email submission. If you're not able to follow this process, you can send your receipt or evidence of payment through the email cugturnitinplagiarism@gmail.com. Then the instructor phone number is there, and then the mobile phone to call for assistance if you are facing any other challenges. However, currently there is a class available for you, the Turnitin class. You can go to Turnitin, you click on register. When you click on register, you fill in your information, and then they will request for your class ID and enrollment key. On this lecture, this lecture will be given to you, this slide. You can use this class ID and this enrollment key to enroll in the class by the SIS-CUG class on the Turnitin instructor's account. So from now, you'll be able to check from now to 30th of this September, the class is open. Reviewing and approval. Once your work is submitted, so the submitted thesis goes through a review process, and this could involve the student supervisor and other external supervisor and the Turnitin instructor. So when it goes through this process, and then a feedback will be given to you. So it will no more go through the paper format, the way they send to supervisors, a hard copy, and then you print, and then they work on it, and then send it back to you to go through the system. And then a supervisor will be assigned, and then the assigned supervisor will make his or her report, and then the student, it will come back to the instructor. The instructor will send it back to the students, and then the students will get their report, work on it, and then resubmit. This system is going to contain all these features to help the process smooth and okay for you. And then archiving and access. Once approval, you see that your electronic thesis will be archived in the digital repository, which is a repository. It will be available online to ensure that you can cite the work. What is going to go through an embargo process. It can be kept for before graduation, it can be limited to you. You won't be able to access it, maybe only the abstract for a period of time, maybe for patent application, etc. And then for the publication and accessibility, in this section, where your thesis have reached, the thesis will become publicly accessible by you yourself and everybody who search key terms related to your topic. It will also be available automatically on Google Scholar. So your work will be able to be cited and then to be viewed by the public. In the graduation and degree conferral, over here, when your thesis is upon successful submission, your thesis will be available in the graduation criteria. If your thesis is not successful, meaning you will not be shortlisted for graduation. So meaning you have to go through the process thoroughly before so that all the process will be okay by the institution or by the School of Graduate Studies before graduation. Another important aspect of this is how you reduce your Turnitin reports. Your Turnitin work. Definitely, you are going to, like the business said, most of the people have about 80% plagiarism. If you have about 80% plagiarism, automatically the instructor will report you directly to the panel. He's not going to send it back to you to rework on the thesis, because 80% means your whole work is copied. The whole work, even the data, most of the times I've seen situations whereby even data is copied exactly from CUCG space. From Legon and KNUST and University of Development and so on. You will see a lot of theses, even the data are being copied. So therefore, once it's 80% and above, your thesis will be sent to the panel for other processes. And then whatever fate awaits you after then you will go through the process. For the tools, in most cases, if you want to paraphrase if you want your work to be reduced, you have to, like the business say, you have to work this, do the work. When you copy a particular sentence, you have to paraphrase this sentence. If you don't know how to paraphrase a sentence, first of all, what you need to do is to rewrite the thing on your own English, your own words. You don't need to copy a sentence. Most people contact me that, oh, why is my abstract or why is my introduction marked red? I have cited it accurately, but the words are not your words. The thing doesn't belong to you. Even if it belongs to you, you have to cite it and you have to rewrite the sentence in your own English. And when you rewrite the sentence in your own English, that doesn't mean you don't have to cite. You have to cite because the idea is not your idea. In most cases, if you also rewrite this sentences or your work in your own English, you will still see that the system will identify red, blue, and so many color yellow to show you that this sentence is still matching another similarity index somewhere. So what you do is that you can subject your work using some paraphrasing tools to do your work. You have to cite your source correctly also. You properly use quotation marks. There are most sentences that those words, you can't change them. They are like that. It's a theory or it's something that you can't change. It's a sentence or it's something that belongs, is already there, is known. With those things, you don't need to paraphrase that kind of sentence or that kind of words. What you need to do is to put that word in a quotation mark to identify that this word belongs to, is being said by this person. And when you put it in quotation mark, you also cite for the reader to understand that this word this idea you state doesn't belong to you. With that, the system will be able to identify that this sentence or this work is in quotation, meaning is something that is being said, that is known, is widely known. With that, your percentage will not be above what you expect. Also, you have to reference your source. Sometimes you include more than 50 70 in-text and inline citations, but when you come to your reference, you will not find, you have like 10 references, but you have over 70 in-text citation. In that case, you are also making your work to have a very high plagiarism index. Another reliable tool is Scholar Indexing. I think they have a tool whereby you can directly submit your work.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Kindly repeat the part that you spoke about in-text citation and referencing, please.
Okay. In the referencing of your sources, I said that most of the times, even when you summarize an idea that doesn't belong to you, you should cite it. And when you cite it, if you cite 50 in-text citation or inline citation in your research work, make sure all those in-text citation and inline citation appears in your reference. If they do not appear, Turnitin will identify it. Turnitin will identify it and then mark all those sentences or all those things you have written, most especially in your literature, because most of your plagiarism, your similarity index comes from your literature. You will just pick a theory and then you think that you are just reviewing a theory, you just copy the thing like that and put in your literature. If you do that, Turnitin will mark all of them red and you will have to rework it. And when you want to rework such thing, please identify the sources that are known, the theories that are known, put them in quotation. And when you put them in quotation, cite it. Don't just put the theory there like that because everybody knows it's a theory. No. If you do it like that, your work will be high. And sources that cannot be paraphrased or you cannot summarize them because the thing need to be presented like that, put it in quotation. That is what I said. Please, do you get it?
Yes, I got that. Thank you very much.
And most of the tools that you can use for your paraphrasing, most reliable tools that we have identified for your paraphrasing, you can use Qboot, you can use Scholar Index, and I have provided the link here for you. Please, if you want to use the full version of Qboot to paraphrase your work, be mindful of how you paraphrase. Don't copy and paste. Be mindful of what you are paraphrasing so that some synonyms that change that are not supposed to be, or you change a particular synonyms that doesn't match a sentence, you will be able to identify it and then choose the particular synonyms that is significant to what you are writing about, please. But for the Scholar Indexing to reduction service, it will allow you to upload your work and there is charges based on the level of your percentage. If you have 20 to 30%, the price, like that. So that is how you are going to use these tools to reduce your work. But most importantly, summarize your work, evaluate every idea you pick, and cite your source accurately. The links are on the lecture, on the slide. So when I share it to you, you can use the links to navigate with the links, please. Now, they're interpreting the similarity report. This is another important thing. Whenever I check any work or any students get a high percentage, let's say 80, 58, 43, and above, they call me and say, how am I going to interpret the column? How I don't even know what you have highlighted. I did not highlight the work. It's a system that highlights where you copy from. If you see blue, sometimes you may not see a color at all, meaning your work is okay. Those particular sentence or that place is okay. When you see green, you know that you have copied between 24, there is a matching text or similarity. That means there is another work in the internet or among databases, in other databases that have similar sentences in your own work. If you have 54 to 49, you should know that there are multiple databases, about 25 to 49% of database that have a matching text that is aligning with the text on your thesis. You'll see it. Turnitin will highlight. Please, I'm going to show you an example so that you'll see how this works. So I combine the blue The blue and the green, if you have that, your work is okay. So the blue and or green will highlight that, will indicate that the matching or similarity test have an existing source found in a Turnitin database. Meaning if you have 24% of a matching test, you see it highlighted in your thesis, your PDF report, it will be in the form of an image. You should know that about 24% of that test is in the Turnitin database already. And then you are going to also have a section, and this one is just a new section that is added. So starting from those who will be submitting their thesis, you will see that section whereby there will be an AI. There's an AI. The AI will show you the percentage, either 18% or that. Meaning any test that is not in the database is from AI. Let me put it like that. So any test that if the Turnitin has about 20 million database, or it can search over 20 million database on the internet or websites on the internet, if they don't find that test, they will attribute it to AI. That is how they develop the systems to work. They will attribute it to AI, and then AI will give you its percentage. Some people can have 0 or let's say 10%. If you have 0% in your thesis, then there is a problem. You can't have 0% in the thesis or even 5% in the thesis. There is a problem. A full thesis, you have 0%. Unless, are you saying you wrote everything A to Z from your head? There are some things that have to be referenced.
Hello.
And then there are a lot of similar tests.
Hello.
Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay, go on.
You were saying you can have 0x or 5% anything outcomes.
Yeah, let's say 0%, please.
Yeah, 0 I understand, but 5% you can have.
Yeah, you can have 5% depending on the document, please. I mean, if
even it is the whole you can have 5%.
most cases you have. Sometimes what I want to say is that when you have 5% currently, you can have 5% as a similarity index. You go to the AI similarity index, which is on the same page, you have about 70%.
Well, but the point is that I mean, with the thesis, I mean, if the point is like what all the other speakers have said, if you're able to adhere to all of that, you can get 0. You will. I've seen like complete thesis with a 0. I've seen some less than 8, 7, and less than 5. But the
That
point
was
is
when
that the AI has currently been added rate to fish out what you just described. But the point is that you can get a thesis within less than 5%.
Please, I'm also telling you now that was when there was no AI detection. Right now, you can get 0%, and then your AI similarity index will be 70 or 80%.
Yeah, but the Turnitin doesn't judge you or doesn't give the report on the AI. It only give the general report differently. In your summary report for AI, it doesn't show on the Turnitin. It only shows for you to see. So whenever see that the AI report.
I think when I'm done, let's adjourn your question. Maybe when I'm done, we'll come back to that.
Yeah, AI. And for the point is that the AI Turnitin will
Let's
not be. The someone will not see it. So
can.
you, the one who see, but someone will never see it if you are doing it.
Okay. When you have a yellow or orange interpretation, this indicates that the test is potentially problematic, meaning your sentences are either incorrect or lack a lot of punctuations. That is why the system is matching it with a yellow or orange color. And then when you have a red, the red usually indicate that your plagiarism is directly copied, meaning you directly copy the text, or the text is an exact copy of another person's work in another database or in another website. And that is when you have around 75% to 100% matching test. Mind you, with the Turnitin instructor account, the presentation of your result varies. What the instructor sees also is different from what the instructor sees and used for judgment is different from what you, the students, get as a report. So your report is more simplified. Also, the instructor get a more simplified report, but also a detailed report where and when you copy this test from. So once the instructor click on those links, he can see where you copy this test from and where you download this test from. So please do like the VCs, the president has said, please follow due instructions to make sure you don't get caught in this act, because when you get caught this time around, you will face a lot of penalty by the panel. With them, so far, electronic thesis submission is going to offer several benefits, including easy access to research and reduce paper usage, paperwork, efficient storage and retrieval. It's also going to increase visibility for student work and then give the students the leverage or the opportunity for your work to be cited and to be seen by other people. Your work is going to now be reused, because when you use paperwork, you finish the printing, what will happen is that the thesis will be printed, hard bind, and then be stored in a room. Nobody reads it. Even you yourself, you even forget you have done a thesis unless they remind you. But with this, even for 20 years, your thesis will be accessible. People will say this person, they will cite you that this work was done by so and so, and you will get the credit. Because in academia, you only get the credit when your work is cited, when your work is read, and when your work is viewed by other scientists or counterparts. So it is essential for students to carefully follow the formatting guidelines and ensure that the quality of their electronic submission is representable and is good for an academic accomplishment. I also share a link here, the same link. When you want to reduce your work, please use the right source. Don't go and paraphrase anything and bring for us just because you want to get 20% below. If you do that and the systems identify it, you will be in trouble and your thesis may be canceled. Even if you are submitting to journals, most journals now, like Walianka Journal of Science and Technology, also the University Journal, upon submission, you will see that when you submit your work via the database directly, automatically you will see your percentage even before you leave. And your work, once it's above 20% or 30% stated by the journal, your work, the system will automatically notify you that your work is out of range. Or the instructor will go through, and if it can explain your work, if it is not a review, something that needs to be considered, your work will be rejected. So please follow the guidelines so that we produce a good research work. Please, thank you.
Hello, sorry. Please, are you saying the link below is used for reducing the similarity index?
That can assist you in the process.
Hello. All right. So when they come, since you are around, you are saying
Hello.
Yes, can hear you.
Hello.
Can hear you.
Yeah, please. I didn't get you. Are you saying the link below is used for reducing the similarity index?
I'm saying that these tools like keyboards and most of the links I have shared, they are reliable places you can use. I just said, can you get me? Do you get me?
No, please.
I mean, there are tools that will help you during thesis. When you find it difficult, these tools will help you with the paraphrasing process. That is what I said, please.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Wednesday market here.
Any more questions?
I'm telling you, traffic will be there too.
Please try to mute yourself. Hello, sir.
Yes,
Please mute yourself.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
yes, I can hear you, please. Go on with your question.
All right. So please, hope we can get the slide after the presentation.
Yes, please. You will get it.
Hello,
All
sir.
right, sir.
Mr.
Please, and the
Senator.
recording as well. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Go on with your question.
Please, can we get the recording as well?
You will get it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I wanted to find out, will lecturers get access to the Turnitin?
Yes, please. There is a special we are partnered with Scholar Anderson. We have designed a special access for the lecturers. So
All right. So will the link be sent to all of us, or we have to come there to get a link?
I think it will be communicated through the deans or through the deans.
All right.
Or the VC who
That's
come.
all I want to know.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, please. Is there a way I can assess myself with the Turnitin before I send it to the lecturer or supervisor for him to, or the school's Turnitin to assess it for me?
Yes, please. That is why I provide this link for you. There is a link here. You use this link first. Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
You can use this link to assess yourself before, maybe if the repository will be available for you to use before you go on with your submission for your lecturer to assess you and so on. You use the link, or you use the class ID. I have provided a class ID here. You can enroll. Just copy the class ID. It's on this lecture note. Use this. Okay, what you do is you go to Google, type Turnitin. You'll see a registered button. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes. When you go to Google, you type Turnitin. There is a registered button there. You click registered. You require a request for your class ID. You require a request for an enrollment key. Use the enrollment key and the class ID that is on this lecture note to register, and you will be able to assess yourself before submitting to the university.
Once again, I want to find out, with some of this Turnitin areas, when you have done, you can delete your file from it.
It's a non-repository.
Some of them they'll keep the record of it, unless you have to see that before you can use it anywhere again.
We are using a non-repository now. We make it repository and non-repository in Turnitin.
All right.
The repository is when you submit your work. That one, when you are submitting an assignment, a class assignment, the Turnitin has to store the assignment. You have to set it to store the assignment so that maybe during the next semester, another person will not pick another person's assignment and submit the same thing. But if you are using a new repository, the one we are using for thesis and research paper submission, once you submit your work, within 24 hours, your work will be deleted.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah, please, you said there's an amount to pay for Turnitin classes organized by CUCG. I don't know if I've gotten you clear.
Yes, please. That is.
Yeah. Can you please come more in that? And when is it starting?
There is a 150 Ghana cedis. It's just a small fee for you to for the submission, because some people submit more than 8 times. When they have like 50%, they will go and work small, submit it again, work another small, submit it again. So it normally choke the database. At the end of every semester, we have sometimes over 2,000 submissions, repetitions on the database, and that cost is also on us. So there is a fee, 150 Ghana cedis you pay, and then before you will be assessed finally, maybe 2 or 3 times or 4 times before your work can be sent for assessment.
Okay.
Hello, sir. I've just come another issue with the same issue of getting access, the lecturers getting access.
Okay.
I suggesting that we have to see the dean before we can get access, or a link will be sent to the dean for us to go to them for access.
Okay. At the time of this workshop, we're already done developing a system that few lecturers, not every lecturer, please. not everybody, not all the lecturers that will have access. Maybe few,
Yeah, why?
no, let's say there in each faculty, one person.
Yeah. Well, I'm not bragging it. Well, I think we should. I mean, because every lecturer, probably, I mean, the person who do publications, you have to check it well.
Yes,
You
that's
have
something.
because now I've just you just mentioned students who have to pay, right? And I don't know how they choose to collect. If they will pay, at least when they come to as a supervisor for some of this, he can also have to pay for them. I mean, check this whether it is on their own cost. But I'm concerned with the lecturer get access because if for instance you say I'm representing the faculty, we have access to 7 here, and they were giving access to only one person. I think I've written an article. I have to go to one person to access my article. That will not be a convenient way.
Okay. Currently, the university have limited access, because they charge every student or every person. They charge everybody. We are going to, like I said.
No, with the well, we will discuss that one later. Some of the students here will discuss that one later. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you too. There's any more questions?
No question.
All right. So,
hello, sir.
Yes.
Please. My question or concern is, with the online submission of thesis, is it is it something we are starting now, or maybe it's just something we are piloting, and then maybe we will start from maybe some academic group or some year batch? I'm kind of lost over there.
Those who are done with their submission, they're already done. So it's going to start from the section that is coming. The next section.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, please.
Yes.
If I heard you right, hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Please, if I heard you right, you said if you want to submit, you have to finish with your work before you can submit all the work. It's not like you submit in bits.
Once you have paid your 150 Ghana cedis, you can submit. Maybe they may give you a maximum amount of time. Maybe let's say you can submit, let's say you have access maybe 3 times, 4 times. You will know that if I develop my chapter 1 to 4 or chapter 1 to 2, I check. Chapter 3 and 4, I check. 5, I check. And then the final work, I check. So that you get the work reduced.
Okay, yes, please. Thank you.
Yes, please. All right. I think if there is no more question.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so the electronic thesis, will there be a portal for the submission?
Yes.
Or we submitting through the email provided?
No. You are not yet for the electronic thesis submission is a portal. You're going to have access to a portal. You can register. When you register, you have your access. You register. It will be linked with your ID, which is your student ID. You enroll and then you submit.
So when are we supposed to do that registration?
Currently, we are working on the repository. We are working on implementing it. So once it's done, you will get access. I only describe the futures, what you will expect.
Okay, yes, sir. Please, I want to ask a question. Should in case I have already submitted my work, maybe I'm in a final year now, I have graduated, and I want to come pass through the electronic system in the sense that I want it at the end of the day be available so that I can access it and that kind of thing. Can it be possible?
Yes, if you have graduated, you want to deposit your work. That means your work have met the requirement before you graduate. We will deposit it for you.
Thank you.
All right. And then we call this, thank you so much.
Hello, Miracle.
Yes, yes.
I know KNUST has implemented the submission portal. and students have had, to deal with many problems.
Okay.
So if it's, I'm just suggesting, or just an input that we make sure that we make it as stress-free as possible for students.
Yes, please. It's going to be.
Yeah.
We have observed that KNUST, University of Ghana, though you have both migrate to electronic thesis submission, or you see most of the time, even if you go to their DSpace, it's down. We want to make sure, it's down. Sometimes it will even be down for 5 days. Sometimes 1 week. I think we are not going to make sure that we integrate features that will not give us those kind of issues. It will be stressful.
Okay, I have some personal question, but I can ask you later on.
Yes, please. All right. Please, thank you all for your input. If anyone has any recommendation, we can add so that we close.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Please, can we get some, say, contact numbers if maybe we are stuck on the way or kind of some understanding, we can maybe contact and then have some thoughts on it.
Please, are you seeing my screen from there?
Yes, please.
Is there a contact number there?
There's a contact number there.
Yeah, their contact, the mobile phone.
Yeah, the WhatsApp number.
Answer
Okay.
WhatsApp.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming, for attending the workshop. Well, it is a very great honor to have you all here and your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Liz, are you having a question?
Yeah, though you have closed, but I think now students have portals where they can access a lot of things. Is there a way you can link this, like they turn it in there for students to have access to?
I thought I said we have partnered with Scholar Anderson. There is a link available there you can use to access.
On the student portal?
Yes, I told you the School of Graduate Studies have launched a community portal to have all resources there. You are going to have every resources there, even videos to show you how you can go about so many things, please.
No, so my question is to the individual portals of students.
Okay.
Once I'm not referring to the website or the learning sites, but individual portals where they access their student results and other stuff. Is it possible to have a link there that students can easily access it from there?
It's possible. That one we'll talk with the management and see what we can do.
Thank you.
There will be a link that will be shared on the WhatsApp platform. Those who have not applied for their certificates, you can apply. Thank you very much, and do have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
We are grateful. We appreciate. Thank you very much.